Back to it again. Here we go. Me and my boy Dalen were debating which DBZ villain had the most aura, not including like GT or Super and all like that. And he said Cooler, OG Cooler, or
OG Cooler or Turles. Like when
or
he was
Turtles.
fighting Piccolo when he blasted that boy in the smithereens.
So, why do you think then?
I think
I'll give you my case of who I think it is.
yeah, I think Cooler came out at a time where there was it was the connection of Frieza which kind of gave him the aura. It was like you thought Frieza, like, because at this time Frieza's like this big head, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's like, nah, you thought Frieza was good. It's like, I'm Frieza, brother, so like I'm here and I'm better, you know what I'm saying? And that was kind of the look it gave, you know. But you know, once Goku picked up that bird, you know, it was over.
Like,
once he picked up the bird and he started flying again, no, it was over for Cooler. But I think Cooler just had a really cool design. I think the concept of it, I wish that they would like make it canon, but the concept, the design, it was all
Frieza's
cool.
brother too, so like trying to get revenge for his brother.
Yeah. But at the same time, it was like, I think they hated each other, right?
Yeah, but he still had wanted revenge for his brother. That's
yeah.
I think, in my opinion, the villain with the most aura, if you include the movies, is Janemba. I was telling him right now. I think Janemba had the most aura for this reason. I think he's one of the villains that put the most fear into Goku and Vegeta at all. Because look, dude, in every other movie or every other, like, you see Goku and like the team always trying to fight against the villain. Janemba's the one villain they ran away from. They literally couldn't hold their own again. They were so scared they literally started hiding inside the little like ball, like the little
stalagmite joints?
the stalagmite joints and the needle in the haystack. Remember that thing?
I do remember that.
And they were like, dude, they were literally hiding from Janemba. This guy was like teleporting. This guy, his sword, dude, he started slicing them up. Dude, they literally had to almost sacrifice Pycon, bro. They said, Pycon, get out there and start. And Pycon started doing some weird. Was he like dancing or something like that?
I don't know what that
he was doing
was.
He was like dancing and doing some weird stuff, like trying to throw off Janemba. He punched Janemba in the face. Janemba just looked at him like, really, dude? Like, you really think that's gonna do something? They literally had to sacrifice someone almost to try to fuse, bro. And
I be careful because deer do be flying out here.
Yeah, bro. If I hit a deer, bro, then that's me versus the deer. But and that's food, bro. But think about that, bro. Which other villain do you know? Dang, that's a raccoon. Which other villain do you know that put that much fear into Goku? Goku never been scared. He's always fought against the villain.
The Needle, bro.
Who?
The Needle.
Who's the Needle?
Yeah.
Who's the Needle?
The Needle.
Who's the Needle?
The Needle?
The Needle?
Needle.
What do you mean the Needle? Oh, the needle for Goku when he was scared of getting the shot. But I was like, what do you mean the needle? But that wasn't the villain, bro.
That was the villain.
Bruh. And Goku's idol was the villain. But think about it, bro. So think about that. Not just that, but how did Janemba start? Like, someone that glows up always gets aura. Look how he was before. Even Janemba, Fat Janemba was kind of like aura mogging, but then he started getting cooked up. But guess what? Then like he got cooked up and he transformed into like the Giga Chad Janemba. Think about that. That's crazy. Like how he had that big of a glow up, bro. That's like one dude from high school that was out of shape and this and that, whatever. And now you see him, he's got bands and all that, and he's like super in shape and got girls. Like, you know what I mean? That's what Janemba was. So like he already had auras just coming in, and then the way he was fighting too, like he was bending the rules of space and time. Like this guy was on a different level, dude.
He was busted. I will agree.
Like, and isn't Janemba like the combination of all the villains? That's literally all the evil. Remember, it was that one dude, that one like dude with the ear with the headset. He was listening to music. He hit the one vial, and then all the evil came out, and it corrupted him. He's literally the combination of all the evil in the world of the DBZ universe, like that was dead. That's crazy. He is literally the embodiment of fear. That guy had no feelings. Janemba wasn't like a guy that, oh man, he has feelings. Like Cell, he had feelings, this and that. He like gave Goku some time.
Cell low key.
But Cell was coherent. Like he wasn't even a villain really. Like he was just trying to fight.
I think he was low key a nerd.
I don't know.
Like when it comes to aura, Cell got it in certain terms, but he's also so far from it.
Think of it. Janemba literally was so stoic. Stoic means he was just there. He just had no feelings. He had no. He had no reason to like really like. He was just there, bro. He was just all he wanted to do was just kill, bro. That's all he wanted to do is just kill. And everyone was scared, bro. They literally had to fuse into literally one of the coolest fighters to ever exist, Gogeta, to be able to beat him. And he beat him with one of the coolest moves, the Stardust Fin. Like, you we talk about Super Gogeta, but let's go back to the original roots. Let's go back to the roots where it came from, where it started. And that's over there with OG Gogeta, bro. And no one beats that design besides, like, maybe Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think. Well, if we're talking about villains, I'm not mad at Janemba. Janemba most definitely. I think it was such a cool concept for him to like have what he had. Like he had the portals and then he had the sword, but he was proficient with everything. And
Yeah.
I think it was such an interesting fight.
And he moved so slick too.
Yeah.
He wasn't like weird. He wasn't like a brawler. He was so slick with it. And dude, his moveset was insane. And then tell me one game where Janemba's not a good character. Almost in every single game that you play Janemba, he's a good character. In Tenkaichi 3, he was a monster of a character, bro. I remember him. Dude, Janemba is a beast. And his character design, let's not even talk about, bro. Look at him, bro. He's got that royal purple. He's out here looking like a demon, bro. Like one of the monsters, bro. Like he's about to come and conquer, bro.
Yeah.
And it literally took, again, a new fused super fighter, Gogeta, bro, to knock him down, bro. That's crazy work, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, that is crazy. I'm not mad at your answer. I think it's a really good answer. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, who else? Frieza doesn't even have that aura.
Frieza's not even close. I think Frieza just.
Frieza was losing aura left and right, bro.
Man,
Once
he
Goku
was
turned
getting
Super Saiyan,
cooked.
he was losing aura when he got his tail
was getting
bit.
cooked by Gohan.
He got his
Like,
tail beat.
I don't-
He got his tail bit, bro. He was cooked.
Like that boy was getting fried.
I think Frieza
I
lost
think
all his.
Ginyu had more aura
Look,
than Frieza.
I
at
think
a point.
I think Frieza lost all his aura. After his last good aura moment was after he killed Vegeta.
No, I actually would give him his last good aura moment was recent, like Frieza Black.
No, but I'm talking about like in DBZ.
Oh, okay.
And we're not
I think-
talking about like outside of DBZ.
I think if it was, I think aura would have been maybe it was anything. Honestly, no, I can't give him any of that because here's my thing.
When
he
he-
was big and bad when he was fighting Piccolo, Krillin, Gohan, Vegeta, right? And then Goku come, he whoop him out of nowhere, and then he was like, man, he just whooped my tail. Let me kill his friend, though. Let me kill his friend.
But look.
There's no more in that. And then he loses, and then as he's losing, he's begging for his life. At like post beg, tries to retaliate, and then still gets cooked. There
Okay.
has been he had no aura.
Think about
in
this as
that.
well. Think about this as well. Like, this is crazy right here. This guy was one of the ugliest first forms ever. This
Yes.
dude looked is short, ugly, this and that, whatever. He had power and stuff, but whatever. His second form was decent. He still was kind of ugly, but at least he was big and
I
stuff.
didn't like none of them.
But
movies, bro.
hey, let's not even talk about his third form, bro. He looked like a
Yeah, he looked like
a
Cell,
he looked like a
actually.
testicle, bro. That's what he
You-
looked like.
You know the crazy part? I believe I seen an article or something somewhere. Akira Toriyama had such a hard time drawing Frieza in them forms. He just that's why he stopped going to them forms. Like that's why Frieza's excuse is those forms are inferior, so he just stays in the one he has
Right,
now.
yeah.
But it's actually bro. I just don't feel like drawing them. So I think that's a cool concept. All those forms, I didn't like any of them. I think they all looked. They all looked. Honestly,
They're unique but
they look
ugly,
monstrous,
bro.
and it's that's the point. It's supposed to be something that's off-putting. It's not supposed to be something visually pleasing.
But look, the thing with Frieza is he had aura moments, but he had so many anti-aura moments that his aura moments were just like overshadowed. Like even in his third form, he would what he did to Piccolo was crazy. He was over there blasting this man. He's like cooking him, but like he's ugly as heck. It's a testicle, bro. Like you can't tell me that's you know what I mean. Like,
I
and then
agree.
look, and then he came back as Mecha Frieza, and let's not even talk about it. He came over here like he's gonna
my
run the
gosh.
world,
Yeah.
and dude got sliced up by Trunks like nothing,
Oh
bro.
my gosh, I think
That was crazy work.
he was just losing it. Even it's like he was doing Piccolo dirty, but at the same time,
Oh, he was doing Krillin dirty in second form. Remember when you had him in the horns?
Yeah.
That was wild.
at the
bro.
same time though, it's like man, it's Piccolo. I'm not saying Piccolo can't fight, but that is Hydrogen Bomb. At the time, it was Hydrogen Bomb versus Baby. That's what it was.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like, man, Frieza was beating the brakes off these dudes. They not guppies, but at the same time, like they was even getting cooked by Raccoon in the like the
That
Ginyu
dude
Force.
ugly as
The
heck.
Ginyu Force was putting paws on some of these Z fighters.
Birder, Raccoon.
And now I'm supposed to think, nah, man, like, nah, Frieza clean because he beating up. Yo, they just got beat up.
For real.
So it's like, what you did was clean, but at the same time, that's the equivalent of like when Piccolo did the whole around the world and then the kick on Cell.
Bro.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
So
what you're talking about.
it's like once a character knows they could beat you, they just do you dirty. But at the same time, if you are extremely stronger than a different character, like than the character, doing the stuff on it, like, I guess it's just you just doing it to do it. There's no aura in it though.
What was Piccolo's last aura moment in DBZ? I think I could think of one last aura moment before he just stopped, before he just literally became irrelevant. Like
I really did not like when he kind of fell off of there, because it's like he couldn't do anything. Like he can
after
train.
Cell Saga, it was over. He just Majin Buu Saga was nothing.
He couldn't do anything to keep up.
He was just there as a trainer. He was just like, hey, I need to teach y'all to fuse. Like,
yeah, which is why I'm glad in Superhero he got that form, the big form.
yeah.
Now, what I would really enjoy is if they made the form like he could get bigger and then shrink to a normal size.
Right.
Because that way we get something that's strong. Like we get the strong form, but we don't have to get the nerfed because it's like this big character.
Right.
Because now it turns into a situation where it's like, yeah, Piccolo's strong, but he's also bigger, so which means he's heavier, and this is just gonna be like a Goku versus a Great Ape. It's just gonna be like when they was fighting in the mountains. That's what the fight turns into. And I guess sometimes that's good, but if there's a dude that's just super fast and super strong, Piccolo going into the orange Piccolo form is doing nothing but putting himself at a disadvantage if he can't shrink and keep up in the speed. Because you know, it's not necessarily the power that's going to put him out.
Speed,
and I'm not even saying it's the speed, but it's like, why in the world? It's like
he's obnoxiously big.
Yeah, it just don't add up. But I would say
what was his last good aura moment though before he became irrelevant? I can think of one. I can only think of one.
I think the cleanest moment, or I think
but his last good one, not the cleanest, because you could think about a bunch of them. But what was his last good one, like before he fell off? I remember one.
I personally think it's his fight with Android 17.
There you go. I was gonna say the same thing.
With 17, I think that fight
when he did he fuse it? I think no. He already no. He what did he do to get?
I was gonna say I thought he fused.
I thought he fused
King,
Kami,
King Piccolo, right?
Was it King Piccolo or no? Cause he already fused with Kami. That was up in Namek. So he fused with King
Piccolo. Yeah.
No, not King Piccolo. He fused with
It wasn't Nail.
No, Nail was the one in
Namek.
Namek. It was Kami. That's who he fused with down below. Remember Kami, the old guy that was on the tower with Popo.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Kami.
You're right.
Yeah.
And that's how he got the power. So I think
that was clean.
Yeah,
that was a clean moment.
He went down there and he whooped on people, and I think that was like.
But after that moment, during the Cell tournament, he was irrelevant. During Majin Buu, he was irrelevant.
Yeah, it's like the part that sucks the most is there was literally nothing he could do about that.
Nah.
Like it'd be different if you some bum like Yamcha and you can train and you can get powerful in like certain prospects, so you can but there was literally nothing he could do.
But that's what's sad though. Like they promoted someone like Gohan who did no training, did this and that, whatever. It was Dookie, but Piccolo who's been training all his life. This guy's like a bum.
Yeah, and I strongly dislike, because Gohan's my favorite character, and even I can say. They tried to fix that in the manga recently, where it was like somebody said, I think it was Piccolo talking to Gohan, and it was like, it was something like, "You're not slick. You've been fighting people, and you've been secretly training, and that's how you got this power." And that's what they did to kind of copy on his lack of involvement in the training, like seeing him work at it.
You know what Gohan reminds me of? Gohan and Goku. LeBron, you know who LeBron is?
LeBron and
Bronny.
Bronny?
Yeah, like Bronny is kind of dookie, but he just kind of got there because of his dad, and he's trying to take his dad's legacy, but he can't because he's dookie. And then same thing with Goku and Gohan. Yeah, Gohan's really strong, this and that, but he's just like they tried to make him fit Goku's shoes so that if Goku died.
But those are big shoes to fill. Like,
exactly. Same thing with LeBron and Bronny, bro. But like,
do you know a character I really want to see shine that they do the most dirty? It's 100%
Yamcha.
It's 100% Goten.
I thought Yamcha.
I don't care for they explain why Yamcha and Bulma broke up in Spark and Zero. He cheated on her.
Oh, I have Sparkings. I just never got to play it.
Yeah,
I have it on
there's a certain
PC, but
there's a certain conversation piece that if he cheated on it. So
Really?
so yeah, I thank him for fumbling the bag because without him we would not have Trunks. But I think Goten is the most like Goku because Goten has that lackluster, carefree personality that Goku has,
Yeah,
but he doesn't have the discipline in the training regards. But I want
that's how Goku was when he was young too, though.
right, but no, Goku loved fighting. Goku loved
Yeah.
fighting, and I think if there's one thing I want to see is I want to see Goten involved, and I want to see something push Goten to go past his limit. Because even in the manga with Dragon Ball Super, we got Trunks and we got Goten trying to do like the Great Saiyaman stuff,
Yeah.
but Goten ain't really into it as much as Trunks is.
You know what they gotta do? They gotta get Trunks out of the equation. Because the thing is, whenever you think about Gotenks, you think about Trunks. You think about both of them.
Mhm.
You don't think about one or the other because they're like a pair.
But you can also think about Trunks individually. Why? Because we got the future Gohan arc, right? So we can think of Trunks in there, and then we can think of Trunks because of the Goku Black situation. You see what I'm saying? So,
you know what? One of the most. You know what? I just remember right now. You saying that. One of the biggest, like one of the probably the honestly, I dare say it. I forgot he existed. The greatest aura.
Goku Black.
No, the greatest aura farmer in DBZ history. I'm gonna tell you right now. There's no one like him. And I'll give him his respect. But he's different. He's not like the original.
Who's
Future Gohan.
Future? Okay.
You can't
Like,
debate that. Future Gohan is.
I 100%
He was the
agree.
epitome of aura. This dude, everyone died on him. This guy had to hold it off, and he's been fighting the androids for years. He had to grow up, this and that, whatever. And then when he tried to bring Trunks along, Trunks was a bomb, bruh, and he just sold.
But he was also a kid, though.
I know.
You know that's
but
so much
a
pressure
teenager,
to put on a teenager.
But he looked,
right?
but he got overly confident. He tried to do stuff he shouldn't be doing, and then Gohan paid the price, lost his arm, and then he kept fighting. And he had one of the craziest, bro. I cry every time I see his death.
Every
I cry,
time
bro.
I see that, it is so sad.
Bro, I
think,
cry every time I see his
like,
death, bro.
It's so weird, and in a sense,
And his eyes being like just straight
yeah,
white,
they
like
were straight white. Nah,
Dude,
bro, that was a different feeling.
Dude.
Like seeing that hurt my heart when I was younger. I think it was like it's such a mixture of emotions because on one hand we got future Gohan who could not have a future, who could not live the life that he wanted, and on the other hand we have our Gohan who has lived the life.
We have the opposite, like one that was
Great Saiyaman,
yeah.
and he's the like,
Infidel
but he
and all
kind
that,
of
yeah.
suck. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, so should I like who should I root for? If we like, would I rather see Gohan suffer and end up in this future Gohan predicament, or should I be content with like him enjoy? I think a really good thing would be like a in between because Gohan, it's like Gohan don't want it enough. It's annoying because it's like, yeah, you want to go to college and you want to.
It's because in the future arc he was forced to become that.
Yeah.
He had no choice. Either become that or everyone dies.
But I agree. I do agree. I also feel like, in a sense,
Bro, and
Gohan
then,
is the same as Goku.
gosh.
Like,
And then
Gohan
Trunks, dude. Trunks had his moment after Gohan. Like, not when he came back. Like, when he went to the future and then came back. Like,
This is for Gohan.
No,
Nah,
no.
he was sliding.
no, when he came back to the past, remember when after they finished the Cell arc, he came back and he saw the androids, and the androids was like, oh, look who showed up again, this and that. This guy comes in, he murks Android 18, boom! And then what happens to Android 17? He's like, my sister! And then...
Man,
Dude, that was a clean... Now, that was... It was kind of fast, but it was so clean,
yeah,
though.
I genuinely think that is such peak Dragon Ball. Like, and it's sad. I genuinely feel like we'll never have anything
Dude,
like that.
that was... I feel like, okay, judge me if you want, but though that movie, like, some of the Dragon Ball movies were some of the most, like emotional, in the sense, like, they brought the most out of you, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you felt something. And even Dragon Ball, like, I personally like GT a lot more than Super, in my opinion, and Daima, way more than Daima.
I think I like GT better than
the
Daima.
reason why I like GT more than Super is because GT felt like it had a purpose,
Mhm.
and it felt like there was actually something at stake, and there was emotions to it. As opposed to Super, just feels like power scaling, like just next power level. And don't get me wrong, it's cool, the fights are cool and all that, but it doesn't feel special. It just
I
feels
think
like
it was more like slice of life ish.
But
it
look,
was like,
but there's no like real plot in Super.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the only time there was actual plot in Super that I would say, okay, that was like pretty gnarly was the Goku Black arc.
Mhm.
That was clean. But besides that, everything else just feels like tournaments and he's a new strongest opponent and let's train to new form.
Mm-hmm.
But opposed to like GT, like for them to get into that form, like I don't know if you remember how Goku got into the Super Saiyan 4 form. This guy was like getting beat like crazy. This guy was about to die, and I think he saw the moon. And then he started getting to like his heart started beating. He turned to the grade 8, the golden grade 8. Remember?
Yeah, I do.
And
remember
then he was fighting at the golden grade 8. And then I think someone cut his something happened. I forgot exactly what happened. But he turned to Super Saiyan 4. Like everything felt natural and it felt special, and the form would look new and everything. But as opposed to like Super, like the form, like don't get me wrong, Ultra Instinct is cool. Ultra Instinct is cool, like the actual form itself and the moves and all that. But like the way it came about, and then it's not nothing crazy. Like
I think because they did a lot of foreshadowing for it too. If you remember, like it was the tiny stuff where it was like there was a point where it was like they emphasized for some reason Goku felt intensely focused. Like it was even in the tiny stuff. Like Bulma tried to hit him and he dodged it, and then she was like, "Why didn't you let me hit you?" And he was like, "I don't know. I'm not." Like he just wasn't in the mental. So they was kind of like pushing. Yeah, they was building up, and I think that's not a bad thing. But here's my thing. It feels so special because, like you said, there was so much on the line.
Yeah.
Like this was something like even if
look,
like it's like Goku was low key. He was chilling, doing what he do, and then I forgot the tiny blue dude name. It's been
Zeno?
No. The one that wished on the Dragon Balls for everybody to Pilaf.
Pilaf, yeah.
So. And it was kind of like out of nowhere. And now we're trying to figure out how can we change this, that, and the third, right?
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Daima was not that. I think the story was more, oh man, don't worry, man. Like now at this point in time in Dragon Ball, it's like if you die, it probably does not matter who you are. You probably will be back.
Yeah.
Because let's be real. On some real, Goten, I guess they like died when they was fighting Boo, but they still got like 2 more goes.
But look, that's what felt special about GT2. Like near the end, like when they did the Black Star Dragon Balls. And it was a good plot. They wished so much on the Dragon Balls that the Dragon Balls literally became evil. Like each one of the Dragon Balls represented a new dragon, and they became evil, and like they didn't have the Dragon Balls anymore. So people died for real. Like even the villain arcs, like the baby arc, don't get me wrong. Dragon Ball GT had a lot of filler, like in it, like or at least a lot of parts that were kind of dry, like them going to different planets, this and that. But bro, I promise you, like, dude, like once you get to like to the baby arc and to like those everything after that, dude, is incredible, dude. And Super Android 17, like everything was so cool.
But it all literally just connected to itself. Where it's like in Super, I lied to you not. There was a point in time where I was watching Super and I looked up and I was like, what even is the story? What am I watching?
Exactly.
Like, so now Vegeta's fighting this purple crystallized version of himself, and he has to do this, that, and the third. To this day, I still don't remember what I was watching.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point to where it's like, all right, now people are just doing stuff to do it.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely do miss when Dragon Ball was like on like your life is finite.
Right.
Like with the headspace of
deaths matter.
Like your death does matter. So it's important that you do not die. It's important that you stay here and stick it out as best as you can. But now it's like, man, Yamcha died, don't worry. We can bring him back in like a couple days. Right?
It's like his 7th time dying.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's such a sad degradation of the story.
It takes away any like value in like life. It's just kind of like whatever.
And I wish they would do something that would genuinely up the stakes. Like you can do something to like.
But like that's another thing is like, how are you even gonna end Super? Like the thing about Dragon Ball Z like original, right? OG Dragon Ball, right? Not OG Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z right now, right? Dragon Ball Z ended with the Buu saga, right? And this and that. Like I felt content when that ended. Right, GT ended at the end with like with them beating Omega and then like everyone like Goku like getting in his gi and becoming big again and all that stuff. Like I felt content with that. How are you gonna end Super? Super just feels like a whole bunch of random stuff happening.
When it came to the moral, have you heard about the moral arc? Have you kept up?
I haven't kept up with it, but I've heard a little bit.
So I think the moral arc is low key good. It gets to a point to where it's like Goku is under a new trainer because at this point, who else? So he's under an angel actually so it's like Vegeta is learning under Beerus. So that's where Vegeta.
Destroyer.
So that's where Vegeta gets Ultra Ego, and now we get the convergence. We get the split of of the powers, because you can Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, and we could just keep going on and on and on. But they'll always be the same, right? Until we get the options. Okay, Goku, you have Ultra Instinct, and they pretty much were like, Goku, you got Ultra Instinct. We're gonna put you up with this angel, and this angel's gonna train you. And then Beerus is like, but why would you wanna go that route, Vegeta? You're too violent. You're too violent to wanna be in this angelic route. So Beerus is like showing him things, and we get this split. And what happens is when angels die, they're dead. Like, they can't come back.
Right.
And then we eventually have Moro. He can sense power from so far away. Like, he can even sense your attempt to instant transmission to him.
Right.
So he's like this character who he has never trained. He's like stolen all his power, but he's never trained, so his body can only handle so much, and that's the whole thing. But it gets to the point where Moro actually kills the angel in front of Goku, and then Goku is pissed off, he's enraged. It's kind of like when Frieza killed Krillin. Yeah. And they're paralleling those moments, but instead of Goku getting mad, that's where Goku actually mastered Ultra Instinct, so where he can like fully focus, and it's genuinely like autonomous, right? But I think it's a cool callback, but there can only be so much callback we can do without something being boring. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we have that same situation, like, it's happened twice. Goku, when he got mad, when it came to Krillin and Frieza, and then when Gohan, what was it? When the Cell from the superhero movie, he did something to Piccolo, and then Gohan got beast form. And that's a play off of when Cell did the same thing to Android 16. 13?
Was it? No, it was 16.
16. What he did to 16. So it's like we keep doing these callbacks, which is cool, because at the end of the day, y'all not forgetting y'all roots. Y'all not forgetting where y'all came from. But now it's time to move
get
on.
Some new ideas that
now it's time to move on, and it feels like they're like, man, we don't really know what to do. So let's just do some callbacks to push the story. But you can't keep doing that. I do like where we're headed, because now we're at a point where the Z fighters are getting to a point where they're really busted. We got an Ultra Instinct Goku, right? We got an Ultra Ego Vegeta. We're gonna have a Broly with some common sense. We're gonna have Beast Gohan. We got Orange Piccolo, right? And then we going up against people like Black Frieza or Frieza Black. And it's a ton of stuff. The only person I can name right now is Frieza Black, but on some real, it would be clean. Now, this is the general idea. It would be literally genius. And during this arc, if we get Frieza Black, we could get Janemba, we could get Cooler, we could get, like, just bring people in, right? And then we can get some true stakes in there. Like, let's get some genuine stakes in there. Like, I think if we were to do a final arc of Dragon Ball, a final arc, we should, like, the stakes need to be so high as in get rid of the Dragon Balls completely. Because there was even in Dragon Ball Super, Bulma was literally wishing for a BBL.
Bruh.
And I think, like, look, that's a good idea. If we got Frieza Black.
Well, her wishing for a BBL?
No. I'm just thinking, but, like, look, I think there's an emphasis on that, because that can lead up to Omega Shenron. Because it's like you're not even wishing for anything, right? So we could get Omega Shenron, Frieza Black, Cooler, Janemba, and then on top of that, who do we have to combat that? We got a controlled Broly, we got Ultra Ego, we got Ultra Instinct, we got Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo. So now we can really raise the stakes, because people, this isn't just some guppy, whatever they call it.
But that's the thing. It has to make sense.
I want it to make sense.
The thing about it is, like, with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT, it made sense. Like, it was, like, although GT was very slow at the start, it all built up to where it got. You know, it wasn't like just drastically, okay, let's bring everybody in. Although there were, like, times where, like I remember Frieza and Cell came back, or they're like the Angels, they were fighting Goku in, like, the Afterworld. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do.
Like, yeah, they brought him back, but it wasn't like with the intention. Like, everything made sense. It wasn't like kind of just thrown, because you could just do a bunch of, like, because that's like fan what is it called? Fan service. Fan service. That's a lot of fan service. Bringing everybody back.
I'm not saying like pull them out. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong, but I think what has to happen is there has to be, I think for Dragon Ball Super to end correctly, and this is my opinion, for Dragon Ball Super to end correctly, you have to have a similar situation to what happened in the future arc, the Trunks arc, or in Goku Black arc, where like the future where it got corrupted, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone died, it was dying.
Even with that,
But I feel like
that's a callback as well.
But if they do that, but do it like you could obviously like have like endings a little bit different, right? You can have different things, you could have like Bulma die or something like that, and like die for real, and this and that. The Dragon Balls are no good anymore, and like then that could be like Vegeta, and like I don't know, like you could do callbacks, but they just have to make sense. Like I wouldn't even be out. You know what I wouldn't even mind? I wouldn't even mind because I really like what they did with Majin Vegeta. Like they made Vegeta evil again.
Oh, they called back to that in Super when he fought Toppo.
Yeah. But like I don't know. It's not like I feel like if they start bringing a bunch of old villains back and just like this and that, whatever. Not only would they have to power scale them correctly, but secondly, it's gonna feel like a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like fan service in GT. It didn't feel like that. It felt unique. But obviously, yeah, like when you do something, you're gonna have less ideas and this and that. But it felt very unique. It felt very special. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people don't like GT. I really like GT.
I think GT was good.
I think GT was amazing.
GT is such a. I don't even want to say GT is an acquired taste. I genuinely feel like I enjoy sitting down. And
I think people don't like GT because just or not canon. Like, bro, what? Like,
but that still don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do agree with you. And I'm also open to them characters not coming back either, but like make some characters that have reason to be there. Like a lot of like there's like seeing some of the story for like even with Granola. Granola, I'm interested in that, but like at the same time I'm not really. The fact that
what'd be a cool what'd be a cool way to end Dragon Ball? Do something similar to GT where like the Dragon Balls become evil, but instead of them becoming 7 different Dragon Balls, make it just become one like dragon. The dragon fights against everybody. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be like a cool. There'll be like a dragon with like 7 stars, like different parts of like 1 star here, 1 star here, 1 star in his head, 1 star like on each leg, and 1 star in the middle. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then maybe 7. Something like that. You can make it like 7.
But here's the
and
thing.
He's like he's his own. Like he said, you know what? Like, you guys have used and abused me, and enough is enough. And then he's like the ultimate villain. And then what could even happen is that even the villains and the heroes have to fight together to take him out, because that guy is he will destroy everything. Like,
here's the truth though, like it's hard to do something like that at this point, because it's like, yeah, man, okay, well, we got Whis, we got Broly,
Zeno.
Yeah, we got Zeno. Like there's like it's getting to a point where it's like there's a lot
but
of
they did that to themselves though,
yeah,
by introducing all these characters.
And it's nothing wrong with having the characters, but these characters are too accessible. You know what I'm saying? Beerus is literally on Earth every other second, and I know sometimes he can't interfere with Earth things, but they said that, and then Whis and Resurrection F was like, man, if we just go back, maybe like 5 or 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
But it could be like
it's too.
But they could do that something similar to like where like the drag. It's literally called Dragon Ball Z. They can make it happen. They can make it be like where the dragon is literally above Zeno. But it's like this is something that's been hidden, right? Like it's not been like Zeno could snap things out in and out of existence, but the dragon is like you could even do something similar like this. Zeno is the good side of the dragon, and the dragon is bad or something like that. I don't know. And then like when the dragon comes out, it's almost like, you remember when Majin Buu had like, and it could be like kind of like something similar to that, like Majin Buu had 2 sides, right? Like you had the good and the bad. You took the bad out, and it was Kid Buu and all that stuff.
I was thinking too, this is such a random thing, because since there's 2 Zenos, what if they just stop liking each other? Like what if they beef? Like what's the like,
who's gonna stop them, bro?
No, I'm interested in that concept. Like what if they start beefing?
Snap each other, huh?
I said I was thinking about it. I gotta go because Mira's low key in there waiting for me. I completely forgot.
We're cooked, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna run this shit. Get on me, but.
Anyway, that's your Dragon Ball talk, I guess.
Yeah, I think overall, I think there is a lot of potential for where Dragon Ball can go. I think if we fall into the generic trope of of nostalgia bait, I'm not saying it's gonna kill Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball has done a lot in its time. But I'm saying if we continue to result to the same like story in a sense, we really don't, you lose the authenticity of it. Like the feeling of seeing Trunks cry over future Gohan, or even in the tiny stuff where it was like when Beerus smacked Bulma and you mad because you watching Beerus, this random dude smack Bulma, and then Vegeta's there too, and it's like the emotions you can feel during it. I'm not saying that Dragon Ball does not have those, and I'm not even saying but what I am saying though is,
you know what'd be cool? I got an idea after you say it.
it's just making it new to the, like, making it just more authentic, and you can only do that if you just find new ways to go. Like in other animes, sometimes you don't really see the same tropes. I think a good example is I'm only gonna bring this up, I'm not saying this is good, but like with like JJK, or no, I'm gonna use JJK as an example. It's not it's traditional, but it's not traditional. Like some people die in ways you never really think of, but it doesn't really rely on certain tropes. I do think it relies on the trope of, you know, 3 people, where it's like Yuji, Megami, Nobara is the equivalent of Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, or what is it? The point is, it's a lot of those. But I just like a story that is not so linear. You know, it does not have to be the same stuff over and over and over. And I don't want it to get to that point, because now what? We're gonna get to a point where it's like, all right, Videl and Chi-Chi want to get back in a fight now. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think pulling certain things out of nowhere would make it that interesting to watch. And that's a sad thing. Like, even thinking of like a route going that way is sad, because I love Dragon Ball, and I think that,
you know what'd be cool?
What?
If the way they end it, they probably won't end it like this, but if they ended it like this, I would be content with it, because they would leave like room for guessing, but also wouldn't feel like unfinished, right? Where kind of we got to a point somewhere, I don't know, I'm not sure how we would get to this point, but if we got to a point where like we're at the end of the world, everything's falling apart in Dragon Ball world, there's no hope, and then Whis still alive, right?
Yeah.
Whis does something to Goku, because everybody's dying, Goku's about to die, like it's one of those things, and Whis, you know how he can like turn back time, he'll turn back time, but doing it like a little bit different, like I don't know, he'll do like a hard reset type thing, something weird. I don't know if he could do that, or even Zeno would do that, but he'll do that to Goku and take Goku right back to when he first started training, or when he first hit Earth on the spaceship, and it can be like the story started over again, and then but Goku has all the memories. He doesn't have the powers, but he has the memories of everything that happened before, and then he's like, what just happened? And then he's reliving his life again from the beginning. Then he starts taking different decisions in his life, and now he's a whole new story. But that's where it ends, and that's where it leaves people guessing, like, "Whoa, well, what's gonna happen now?" This and that. But that's the end.
I think that would be a good like a good parallel story. I don't know if I would enjoy that being.
How else would you?
I like the concept of what you were saying, where it was like it's Whis, and Whis is gonna do something to Goku. What I think's a good idea is, it's like, you do that, but you do it to a certain extent, because angels and stuff, they can't really interfere with humans because it would result in their death. But what would be interesting is like, okay, well, Whis did this, that, and the third to kind of save them, but in turn, Whis dies, and now it's like, and Beerus, as pissed off as he is, there's nothing he can do, and he can't interfere with humans anymore. And let's say it just results in him stop coming to Earth. So now we got whatever this potential part is at the end of the world. Whis is dead. Beerus is not going to come down here. We got no contact with Zeno. How in the world can we beat this threat on our own? How in the world can we overcome this and also, like, bring peace back to the world? I think that's an interesting concept as well, but I don't know. It's so many ways they could go. I'm just scared they're going to pick the most generic way possible.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they do that, they're gonna have to do something with, like, oh, they come up with a new form or a new future. There's something like that's gonna happen again, and we're gonna go back to the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they did what I said right now about like Goku back in time, like, yeah, it's not like, that's like completely opposite of what the traditional Dragon Ball like type. Because Dragon Ball is not meant. Like, the thing about it is that they boxed in Dragon Ball Z into a like a kid friendly fight, this and that. Like they've made it so much like that ending like what I just said is really unreasonable. Like, cause then it would be like really like anti-Dragon Ball. It's not what you would think of a Dragon Ball Z story, right? Like that, like, oh, go back in time, and it's like, okay, now you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. And it's kind of like doing something similar to what GT did, right? Where Goku became a kid, but the difference is that this time Goku is actually a kid, and he's back. I don't know. That's why I'm saying like what you're saying isn't bad. I'm just it still would feel like, okay, well then what, they're gonna keep training again and this and that, Goku and Vegeta, like they're gonna keep on training. Like, how old are Goku and Vegeta at this point? You know how old they are? These guys are old as heck.
No, they're not. They're in their 40s.
Bro,
That's not old.
that's old.
Okay, that's not that old, bro.
Bruh. Like, at least with GT, like, you felt Goku like was at the end, not the end of his age, at the end of his life, but
He was like, yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
like I'm gonna go like right off in the sunset. It's over. I'm not gonna train anymore. I'm just gonna go like somewhere else, and you just feel him disappearing.
Okay, I do agree with you.
And that's what I
do
mean.
think
Like
that
like getting an ending like that.
if it ended in them like not training anymore, if it ended with him being like, yeah, no, I'm like, okay, and I'm content with it, that's interesting as well. But you never know, because in Daima, I think.
But it's weird though now, right? You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because Vegeta's literally training to become a destroyer. Goku is literally training with an angel.
Yeah, we see the route now.
It's not. It can't do that where we're just not gonna become. We're just gonna be like go live in the mountains. They can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
That's what's weird about it. That's why like.
Yeah, because they're so strong. It's like, so how?
I think them introducing Beerus was one of the worst decisions they could have made. I'm not saying that Beerus is a bad character or nothing like that, or badly wrote.
He
No,
just gets in the way of the power scaling.
I think that, but I think he could have been introduced way later and it would have made more sense. But him being introduced so early made them make so many weird decisions.
But they also needed to have some type of bridge to be able to make them push to new heights, because it's like, yeah, Super Saiyan Red was it was cool. And then you look at it now, and a lot of people say it's underused or whatever the case. I think that having Beerus show up and then them having to do the thing to kind of connect from Super Saiyan 3, because Super Saiyan 3 is the next like route that a Saiyan naturally could go. And I think
at the time, yeah.
And I think that's a good, but at the same time, I also enjoy that Saiyans are different, because Gohan can't go Super Saiyan 3 because he's a half breed. And it's like, you know, the more the breeds go, the less it is. So it's like, so Gohan is half breed, so he can't go Super Saiyan 3. And I'm pretty sure since Pan is gonna be that quarter breed, she's not even gonna be able to, she probably gonna hit Super Saiyan 2, like if they feel like giving her that, but she probably gonna be stuck at Super Saiyan 1. And it's like, the more they have kids, the more that strength is gonna dilute. That's such a different thing though. The point I'm trying to make is,
you know what would be cool? If Goten became evil.
it would have been interesting if instead of Goku Black, that was Goten. I would have liked that. Like, I genuinely would have liked that. Like, if he would have took over Goten's body, and he could have been like, Goten had.
I mean, that's what happened in GT. Remember, Baby took over Vegeta's body.
It's like,
and Vegeta became
if Zamasu was like, Goten had the most potential. Like, he was like, he's seen everybody, but he's seen Goten had the most potential. Very lazy, but he had the most potential out of everybody at this point in time on the planet. So he takes over Goten, right? All these years, and he's like training with Trunks or whatever, but it's not really Goten. You see what I'm saying? And then he learns how to actually use certain abilities, and it's like, what he does after that, let's say he kills everybody. He kills Goku and Gohan and all them, and he absorbs their energy. So if we was to get Goten Rose, you know what I'm saying? That's where he could get it from.
I feel like if they would have ended the super arc or super like everything at the Goku Black arc, I wouldn't have been mad. Because corrupted Zamasu and this and that, and then they have Vegito Blue. That would have been a crazy nice ending. And I wouldn't have been mad at that. But they have to keep it going because they have more money. And now they're in a pickle where like everybody's strong.
Yeah,
everybody wants.
You got to do it a certain way now, and I really hope they can do it. She is literally it's 11, bro. I gotta go.
But your friend.
I gotta go. Bro.
Catch you later, Justin.
Catch you later, man. Catch you later, man.
Catch you later, bro. Comment and like, subscribe if you guys want more Dragon Ball commentary. We might start a podcast. Let us know.
We can do the podcast, and then we can talk about other anime too. There's more out there. I don't know what you watch, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, you're gonna find out, bro.
All right.
Powerpuff Girls. All right, man. I'll catch you later. You got everything?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll catch you later, bro.
All right, later, bro.
See ya.